Merry Christmas, everyone, from us here at When Wellness. And I think what better Christmas gift that you could give someone than achieving optimal health, than becoming healthier. And so if you're going to watch one When Wellness video ever, maybe this should be it. What is the first step towards becoming healthy? What is the first step towards achieving optimal health? Well, one might think, okay, well, all of these unhealthy things that I do, they stimulate my brain in some fashion. And maybe when I take a hit of something, it stimulates this part of my brain and I release dopamine and this part stimulated. And if I were able to mimic that, absolutely mimic that artificially without the stimulus, the unhealthy stimulus, that noxious stimuli, well, then maybe I could get that same feeling. And if I could do that over and over and over, and then to a lesser degree every day or week, and wean off of that feeling, then maybe I would feel just fine without it. Right? And wouldn't that be nice? Well, unfortunately, we as humans, we can't do that just yet, right? We don't have something that we can magically do that to our brain. And so what is the first step, again, towards becoming healthier? Well, I think it all starts with accurate and truthful communication between your body and mind. Accurate and truthful communication. When we eat these artificial foods, these things that are high in added sugar, we do these drugs, and they make us feel good. That is not truthful and accurate communication with your mind and body. And so, what is the first step that we can take towards changing that? Well, literally, if you look at what these things do, let's take the example of alcohol, as it'll increase levels of dopamine, right? These kids are on screens all day, it increases levels of dopamine. People that smoke nicotine vapes, they increase levels of dopamine in cigarettes and all this kind of crap and a lot of these drugs. So dopamine is a really big one. Okay, so what can we do that will mimic that dopamine release, that can replace that thing? And can we replace all of it at once? Can we just totally go cold turkey, and can we do that other healthy stimulus that will make us release the same or more dopamine right away? Well, you could. You could go cold turkey, but I guarantee you 9 out of 10 people would have a very hard time doing that. And when they're in those first few days of withdrawal from whatever that harmful stimuli was, it's going to be very tough and they might turn back. And that's where a lot of us go wrong. Now, you can try that. And a quote I think that goes along with that is, hard times make strong men or women. Strong men make easy times. Easy times make weak men. Weak men make hard times. And so you know if it's going to be that difficult, if it's going to be that hard to cut yourself off from that cold turkey, that it's probably a very good thing. You have to embrace that difficulty. To find joy in hard work is to discover the fountain of youth. Pearl S. Buck. I love that quote. We've said here before at When Wellness. And it holds true there. It holds true when you're studying hours and hours and hours on end for that standardized test, for that MCAT, because you really want it. You really want to go to med school. You really want to be a doctor. You really want to help people. You yearn for the hard work when you're looking to become a bodybuilder and you're in the gym and you say, I'll do those extra 5 sets, 6 sets, 7 sets, that extra 1, 2, 3 reps. When you thought you had nothing left, you embrace the hard work and you find joy in it. But a lot of us aren't there right away. So again, the first step towards becoming healthy in a manageable, reasonable, feasible sense is to maybe look at these harmful stimuli and say, when I drink, I release more dopamine. When I take nicotine hits, and these are just some examples from cigarettes, common examples, or vapes, you see them everywhere now. I not only release dopamine, but also epinephrine and beta endorphins. So what can mimic those? Well, one thing is exercise. Absolutely. Exercise will make you release more dopamine and epinephrine and beta endorphins. And so it could help you to achieve the same feeling, right? Now, at first, are you going to be able to not do any of the nicotine or alcohol, whatever it is, and just exercise all day to get the same feeling? Maybe not. So if you were to have 10 cigarettes in a day, have 9 cigarettes in a day, go for a 2-minute walk. Do that for a few days. Or, go 8 cigarettes a day after that, and 7 if you want to do it in a rapid fashion, right? But maybe the next week you have 8 in a day. You go for a 5 or 10-minute walk. And then 7 and 20 and so on. And before you know it, it's 1 cigarette and it's 5 sets in the gym. And then eventually it's no cigarettes and it's 10 or 15 sets in the gym and 20 sets in the gym. And what's going to happen is you're going to get that release of dopamine from the gym, from walking, from doing anything healthy. And you're going to say, this is making me feel better than anything I've ever felt. When I stop eating these unhealthy foods that were lying to me, full of added sugar and crap, and it made me feel happy, when I weaned off of those. I love soda, say. I don't, but say you love soda. You have that glass. Now, day 1 of your journey towards optimal health, you have this much water in the glass and the rest is soda. Then it's this much water and this much and this much, and then until it's half water, until it's 3/4 water, until it's almost all water. But not only weaning off, on the other end, increasing something else. Having more of something that's healthy. It could be anything from more water to electrolytes, to maybe adding some kefir, having a nice smoothie you enjoy with some frozen blueberries and spinach and things like that. Slowly having less of the harmful stimuli and then more. And this seems like common sense, right? But this is something that a lot of us don't think about often. And we cut ourselves too much slack in the sense that we just go through every day and we give into immediate pleasures. And those things that are immediately pleasurable and easy to do are almost always bad. So yearn for this challenge. Find joy in the struggle. Find joy in the struggle. But realize at the same time, even if you don't want to look at it in such an extreme sense, you don't have to struggle so much. You don't have to struggle so much. You can have just less and less and less of the harmful and more of the good. So what are a few examples of things that would also increase beta endorphins, epinephrine, or dopamine? Well, we said exercise. That's a big one. So really, let's kind of focus on dopamine here for a second. The major hormone / neurotransmitter involved in the reward circuit that makes us feel pleasure and motivation, right? And so you can sleep more to increase dopamine levels. Not to mention sleeping is good for you for so many other reasons, right? You can listen to music, believe it or not. Listening to music could be, who talks about listening to music as a replacement for cigarettes? Right, at first, obviously, I know if you love cigarettes, music isn't going to cut it. But one less cigarette and one more song maybe will help. Maybe. And maybe it can keep your mind off of it and stimulate those same parts of your brain that were firing when you had that dopamine hit from the cigarettes. Just as an example. I think these are good examples, right? And so, slowly but surely, you do things like listening to music, like meditating, like being less stressed, like eating healthier foods in general. These all increase dopamine, guys. And if you literally look up what these harmful stimuli that you like do to your brain. Just do it. And then look up what are other things, simple. Google what increases this that's healthy. Whether it's dopamine or epinephrine or beta endorphins or gamma endorphins or alpha endorphins, anything like that. But you can find out for yourself. These are just a few examples, right? And so that's what the best gift I think that we could all give ourselves. And you'll become so proud of yourself. And to supplement that to supplement the fact that when you begin to do these healthy stimuli, you will become infatuated with them. You will become addicted in the best way, in the most positive definition to them. And you will get greater reward in release, even just in terms of immediate pleasure. That release of dopamine, for example. You look at resistance-trained subjects, people that are used to exercising, used to resistance training. They release more dopamine than untrained subjects. Now, isn't that interesting? When you go from the harmful stimuli to the healthy right away, when you start drinking wheatgrass instead of garbage with added sugar, soda, and whatever the other crap is, alcohol, right? It sucks. You feel like shit, right? You have to realize that at first, that's going to happen. And you're purifying yourself, and that moment of purifying yourself, that moment where you feel that struggle, where you feel that pain, that in itself should make you happy. It should, because you know you're doing something good, because it is so hard. And it doesn't mean something should be hard where you bang on a brick wall over and over and it's not going anywhere. It's not the same analogy here. It's hard because the struggle is worth the fruit at the end of the day. So the first step towards becoming healthy is better communicating with your body. Truthful communication. And albeit you may think it's truthful at the moment, no, I like that stuff. It's just something that I like. I do it because I enjoy it. I bet you do. I bet you do. But you don't know what other healthy stimuli you could replace that with that are going to give you that same feeling. So please give it a shot. And what better time to start than now? The new year's about to start. Make a New Year's resolution for yourself. And by New Year's resolution, I mean really no resolution at all. Just make this a new lifestyle. And it will change your life. And what you're going to find out at some point is maybe you didn't need that stimulation of those parts of your brain at all. After you're truthfully communicating with your body. And you'll realize you don't need anything. You don't need anything. And in my personal experience, when I began intermittent fasting, for example, and it's good for a lot of these aforementioned things too, increasing levels of growth hormone, also testosterone, the brain-derived neurotrophic factor, producing more brain cells and dopamine, all sorts of stuff. At least to a degree. Right? When I first started fasting, it seemed difficult in the beginning, and I wondered, why am I continuing? I stumbled upon it on accident because I was an Uber driver in chiropractic school to help pay my way, at least whatever I owed aside from rugby that they paid for. And so I was out there for hours and hours before I would go into the clinic or after I would go into the clinic doing adjustments. And so it's a great thing to do is on my own time. Look into it if you don't have a job. It was kind of fun too. Go to the bars at like 2 a.m. and pick people up. It's great because you don't drink and you make more money because there's a multiplier in the price. Anyway, I did that and I said, I'll take one more ride. I'm hungry, I'll take one more ride. And I lived by eating every 2 hours. And this is just an example. You can eat every 2 hours and be healthy. I'm not saying you can't. But I was used to eating so frequently. I said, I'm on my way home. Ding, ding, another ride. No, I need the money. I'm going back. I'm going to go back. Before I knew it, I was out for 8 hours. And I had been in the clinic for hours. And the first time this happened, I didn't eat for like 8 or 9 hours. And that was unheard of for me. And I was like, oh my God. And I went and I ate so much food after, right? And then the next day, I felt okay. And I said, I'll go out and I'll work some more. And I did it again. And I said, all right, yeah, I'm getting hungry, but I don't need it right now. I'm going to keep working. It's the time. I'm looking to pay for other things. Business ventures, whatever it is on the side. So I have to continue. I have to keep going and working. And what happened was I began to feel this sense of mental clarity when I wouldn't eat for a certain number of hours. As my brain went through intermetabolic switching, which I had later found out, going from glucogenic to ketogenic and burning ketone bodies for energy and getting deep into ketosis. And then I started doing prolonged fasts, 24 hours. There were times I did 48, 72-hour fasts. I went from 264 pounds to 205 pounds in about probably 5 months or 6 months. And I felt great. Now I'm like 225, and I don't fast for that long anymore, maybe 18 hours in a day, typically. Some days are 20, some days are 16, but it's always around there. But you know what that taught me more than anything? And it has nothing to do with the fasting. It has nothing to do with the benefits of fasting or food or anything. It taught me that I don't need anything. I thought I needed that food to stimulate my brain and body to feel that sense of pleasure and satisfaction and fulfillment. But I just didn't. I just didn't. It made me realize you don't need anything. And when you start doing these things, I'm telling you, if you need anything, it's going to be more hard work towards becoming healthy. You're going to want to go to the gym for a longer period of time. It's going to become your sanctuary. You're going to love to go for your walks. You're going to look forward to your shot of wheatgrass, your shot of olive oil. You're going to look forward to taking your fish oil. You're going to look forward to cooking wild-caught salmon. You're going to look forward to your sleep. You're going to look forward to your meditation and listening to calming music. Music in general makes you happy. You're going to look forward to being less stressed and to being resilient because you've experienced this hard work, which has made easy times for you. So that, from the bottom of my heart, is my gift to whoever will take it and go use it. It's been a gift to me, and I had to share that with you guys. So, Merry Christmas. I hope everybody had a great day today, and I hope, I really hope this had some sort of impact on someone. Let me know if it did, even if it's a tiny little thing that you change. So, look at this guy. Passed out, buddy. No, you're not. You're a good boy. Good big boy. Let's see who we got on here. Say what's up to the people. And then we're going to go to bed because it's Christmas and it's late. And we've been at it all day. So, Miguel, what's up? RMRX, how you doing? Leif. Hunt, what's up, man? The David Zara. Andres, appreciate that. Love you too. Robbie Vegas, Pepe, Brayton Servin, I am Matt Caesar, Sorb Sapar, Quan Life, Kurt, how you doing? Hi Stephanie, Merry Christmas all you guys, Merry Christmas. Uncle Marky, Brandon Malone, Merry Christmas to you my fine feathered friend, and OG on When Wellness. New Sheriff in town, how you doing? Daydream Petals, Omar, what's going on, Realtor Johnny? How you doing? Alessandro and Billy Rivera, Merry Christmas to you because you were the first one on. Even at 2:22 in the morning, 2:22. Wait, that's crazy. I looked, it's 2:22. 22 is my lucky number, 2:22. This was meant to be. So I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your night. It's all we got for you, folks. We will see you tomorrow, my friends. I'm not sure where and I'm not sure when, but I will definitely see you then. Have a great night. Thanks a lot. Merry Christmas. Happy When Wellness. See ya.